Good morning, folks. It's 11:23 a.m. on May 4th. Good day. Nope, no, excuse me. May the 4th be with you, 2023. Right, Gish, let's get a little more coffee in me. Right, there's a big band just about to come through here. As you just become Impact in New Plymouth over here over the last hour. That big band that's coming through is a rather large tendril. And see this stretching out here toward Nelson? Hey, this is pretty much going to be the edge path of this over the next day or so. This area here is going to get a continual copulation from our fuckery oppressors. I don't know any other way to put it. I wasn't planning on swearing, so whoop, cat's out the bag. Plug the children's ears. I never want them to hear stuff like, I think we're being killed, and we're trying to figure out how to stop it. I want them to hear we're going to make a better world and all. My forecasts are made for children, and I don't like them listening. Don't ever expect me to change that. Well, I look like a nose and a little bird in an egg, don't it? I had my imaginary in there. But isn't just being bombed up. Bomb, that's very cold. Even colder as that top went along. I can tell a lot by looking at temperatures as some of these bands go over. It'll help me look at things. We do have a NASA worldview image to look at, hopefully here. It's a spinning butterfly over here near that one island. And it seems to beam a lot. Yeah, that's a particular spinning move that it does, a little duck head. Quack, 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 floating in the tub. Rubber ducky gives the bimes. It makes my day not so much fun. Cammy ducky, I am not so fond of you. Hey, Bert, look at this guy. 1 chem bomb, 2 chem bombs, 3 chem bombs. What a fucking shame. That would be like a more childish way of doing things. You're right. Look at that V out there, the V out there. You got a little dancing stick figure guy going on out there. Those are chem bombs. These are not a naturally occurring cloud formation. This is not a beautifully funneling, nice, natural looking storm. This is a sustained event bent on taking your land. I don't think this is for healthy reasons. I don't think this stuff that's falling out is cleansing the land of anything but the properties that our people occupy, that our oppressors want their Agenda 2030 new sustainable development smart dumbed down cities in. Well, they'll get some idiot Karen that wear a mask to tell you can't go through a neighborhood. Yeah, we're going to have to motivate some stuff at the beginning, I think. Right? We have rights. A mandate is never a law. And if you go along with a mandate, you're pushing an agenda that's going to do this to you. Let's look at some of your totals, Kevin. That there was just the weather radar. Here's what you can expect for oppression. Pick one. Yeah, I've had a long look this morning. Before I went live, I wanted to be sure about something. Always be sure. Maybe I was waiting for a beam. And I was. Now here's where the stretch happens. Right? You get a bit of action starts to pull through here. It's going to tendril over. Cold air is going to come up through here a little later in this week. It's going to cause some snows and some frosts. Any of these people along here to get flooded out and destroyed are going to need something warm. Start thinking about that ahead of time. If you got any mattress bags or stuff you would put a mattress in or stuff you would store upstairs, that's waterproof, put your valuables in one of them, suck the air out of it, or put the air in it. It could be a flotation device too in a pinch. These little things I think about that people ask me, what would you need in a flood? You don't need to be stuck up in your roof if you don't have a way to get out of it from the inside. Don't be a statistic there, you'll get trapped. The time to make your decisions is now, actually, where you still got a chance to move. Because once these passes up here get the runoff coming down there, any of these little, even small 2-point quakes could bring a hill down. They're so saturated right now. There's so many little micro fissures and stuff that you don't know about underneath the foliage of these forests up here. I'm very, very concerned about the earthquake risk for today in particular, as the storm's dynamics move from this side of the island to this. That pushes that way. And that's going to start pushing, kind of like a lever. Like if you push from here to turn a doorknob, where's the pivot point? It's right here. Pivot point's right here. What's right here? 5 fault lines meet on a wedge. I'm very concerned. Very, very, very concerned. I've definitely seen some pulsations coming out. You can see it in the sat view. Coming out from coming over here, I caught it. Right here in the end, so I went and looked. Yeah, I got a few interesting things pulled up. So we have a beam. It's come from down here, right in the ocean. It didn't come from Antarctica. It came from out in the ocean. Oh, I'll jump it back a frame. Sorry about that there. Get what you get until I can improve my internet. I'll go back about 12 hours. You know, that ship wasn't on, it wasn't just hitting one quick. Bzzt. It's a line sustained microwave to get the atmosphere to do what it's wanted. It went very far. It went almost all the way up to Hawaii. It's a big beam. But the wedge is going that direction. So the emanation point will be down here. And they go out in a cone, a conicity, it's known as. And the beam goes out into the shape of a cone. Getting bigger and bigger. And I'm not talking about that kind of cone, the smoking cone. Yeah, but you know, they turn the beam on. Just start ready. Boof! Yep. Star Wars dated is one of my favorites, and I will have an absolute marathon. We got 3 dotted bombs right there. Mighty square formation showing up there, Mimic. Feeling your weather zone yet? Has the tendrils been held there? It's held. Held in place. Microwave beam right there holding it. And this is what, just the 24-hour that I'm looking at. Yeah. And that's just been going on. Beam shot up from here. See that right there? It's pointing right at Blenheim. And off. And off. Let's see if I can get that a little bit bigger for you. If I go much bigger, I lose the controls. Then I can go back and forth. That's about the best I can do. See the beam, a little sweat of it right there. Let me get it on screen. Let's see if I can zoom out a little bit. You guys be proud of me, the setup I got going. Alright, you see the line? It's a beam. You also have one shooting out that direction. That one there is most likely localizing X-red. You have a beam shooting up right through here. Let's get it all on. Sweth. Pointing at Blenheim. Sweth. Pointing at Gisborne. This is just in the last 24 hours. We got a nucleation here just off the coast of Invercargill. Or however you pronounce that. You can even see the beam swept of the square of it there pointing right at that Tiger radar. Can't tell me that thing ain't being used to weather manipulate, because I can see its influence in the moisture itself. Whoever was telling you that shit needs to open their eyes to the big picture here and understand what your eyes see is what's going on. You ain't going to move all this moisture here, Australia, into a straight line across your country like this unless you ain't held it in place with a beam. Let's roll that so I can see what it did. It's a microwave boiling that up, most like the Atlas. See a straight line going straight up through the tropics where they've been having a lot of earthquakes? But they're moving that river up and over. Yeah, you're getting a bit of a drought treatment up here. Get a beam shot up that direction and back that up. Maybe that'll help give a little bit of showers there up in that corridor. Because it doesn't have the same moisture flow as before, and there's a lot less over here to be seen coming from the tropical belt, so to speak. The main river has just been diverted again, right? And most of that's been pushed up that direction. Pearl decided that days ago. Yeah, and they sent it this way. See how straight, zigzag it up? It's all manipulation. Hey, go up that direction, then over. Very directly. Up, over. Which is that the chess move? Is that the knight? Are they playing chess on their backs? Now you can see it happening, and there's big EMF move that's holding all that in place. Right, droughting you out. Drying your land, getting you ready for the big barbecue season. Ooh, he went there. I don't trust land grabs come in many forms, but they didn't flood out, they'll burn out. They'll burn that firewood on the forest floor so they can have you a really good solar minimum winter there, and you got no heat, they could control it. You better behave. Everybody only has to have this much of it because our oppressors wanted batteries for an agenda, while at the expense of your heat and not at the expense of their wallet. And meanwhile, here on Sunday the 7th, and the fuckery is continued non-stop. Non-stop, 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 non-stop. I have to come on here twice a day. Well, it's depressing. Hey, you want to tell somebody they're going to get a meter of water? Didn't know about it for a couple days. And if you tell people you're just going to have to freaking get a bunch of crap, Hey, I didn't charge you for forecast, whoever was nasty to me. Alright? And I ain't gonna. You deserve to be safe, and what the shame is that you're being lied to. People telling you there's like it's healthy stuff in the sky. Yeah, just go on out and breathe that shit. So stupid needs to go away. Over here in Wanaka, I think they might be wondering, what the fuck, how did this snow come so suddenly? But then again, that's fjord lands with glaciers. It's to be expected as you head into the autumn season. But I'm a bit surprised to see the snow into the lower lands here, all the way over to the Kaikoura. Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise to me. Yeah, right onto the coast even. Flurries. A bunch of McFlurry heads. Yeah, it's a decent amount of powder up there. That's in centimeters. You're getting up near a foot of snow up there. Up on the 10s. What in the fuck was that all about? I don't know what that is. But they're not getting any snow over here in French Polynesia, that's a good sign. But the rain accumulation for them on the 10 is far from a pleasant thing to be watching, as another pinpoint accurate tendrils directed upon these beautiful, peaceful, beautiful islands. The kind of stuff you see in postcards with the palm trees and the coconuts. Well, the coconut-headed fuckers are out there directing the tendrils of moisture and pinpoint accurately toward to scrub these islands. And then they're going to tell you, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, global warming, global warming. Meanwhile, they've been colder out than ever, and it's getting ready to snow early this year. Yeah, I call bullshit on a lot of stuff. As I'm going to zoom in now and show you some of them, what I'm going to call the terrible totals. We get the tekaka. X's. Everybody says you're fucked, you're fucked, you're fucked, you're fucked, you're fucked. I can. Only goes up onto the 5s. Yeah, but on the 5, they're showing a half a meter of fucking water. Alright, you guys are capping it. You're going to get it. Have you been properly warned, or did somebody tell you your event was over? Right, you still got some rains coming through here. The streams are never fully done. Are you ready on the 10s? Whammo, have another batch. Okay, you got more coming. This shit ain't over. That tendril ain't moving. You got a brake. Use it well. Use this brake well. Really, use it very well. Use your time wisely. Use your time wisely. We better start using our time wisely and quit biding our time with a bunch of Biden bullshit lies and everybody worried about who the president's going to be. And it's time for us, the people of the world, to set the precedent. In other words, what precedes what goes on is the rule of the people. As I'm looking at now, finally some honest totals here for Nelson on the 10s. And I'll put it right on the word Nelson. If somebody was nitpicking me. Oh yeah, they're probably listening, but they're fired. Yeah, no more comments for you. Oh yeah, I ain't got time. Some people feel I owe them something. I owe them a message. And I see only 100 unsent messages. Which there's programs that allow you to see the unsent messages, by the way. Yes, Robert has one. I see what you say, you know. It's not. I don't owe you time. I was on here so exhausted last night to give that last forecast. But you had to know. If people are worried, you're going to be awake while I'm asleep. Yeah, I slept about 4 hours in the last 24. These are terrible totals over the volcano field. At least I don't see any huge, big, whomping blasts. But that big beam that went over you about 3 days ago has still got the mantle vibrating underneath you. It's still like liquid. It's moving already. It ain't going to take much of a beam to get that going. And just the shock wave from this coming across the ocean right now, butting into the side of this island over here, is going to cause problems. I'm going to zoom back out now. Try to get you on screen. Hey, I got to do low tech. Here you go. You're on screen again. As I go over toward the frying station down here, you can see how the clouds just disappear. Dissipating. Why? Because you got the microwaves on here in a square. So she's at, get a square out here. Well, how many squares we got out here? Squares within squares. There's a little bit of a leaner over there. They're not natural looking. Oh, it's got a lot of bombs on the edge of that. It's not just microwaves. That's not just the morning glory. If it is, they're sticking that morning glory where it don't belong. What's the story? Chem bomb morning. Boom, boom. No fucking champagne supernova sky in there. LSD heads. 1, 2, 3 bombs there. 1, 2, 3 bombs there. Swastika right there. Yeah. See it? Open your eyes. The earth is our birthright. It's also every other animal and creature's birthright. And I don't think we're doing right to their birthright. by establishing a dominance over a planet with toxicity and with forced actions that are fake, and people believing that television it tells them lies. Even the name says it's going to tell you lies to your vision. And as this front means that front, that's going to kick a little action up. Just a continuing fueling of squares. Boom, 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 boom. Flower of death is what I call that particular one. I had to give all these names. I have my own names for the new cloud types, right? The big undulating one is the asphyxiate. It's all the fucking hell cloud, man-made. You know, anything got the word homo in it? A man be making that shit. Even telling you in the names of some of these new clouds that are man-made. Well, you know, that's none of our business, is it? Or is it all of our business? And that frog in the window's been boiled long ago, about a very tea. He's old. Poured it in too hot. Or they poured it in a microwave. Poor Kermit is boiled on that thing. And it's all of our business. Look at that boom, boom, boom. Just continuous sustainment in one spot. Boom, 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 boom. Bucks Bay gets some action. It ain't much better when I look on the worldview, I'll tell you that. Let's see if we can find an asshole worldview. Aaron Judge sends a brutal message. What does he want, more money? I'm going to go somewhere else unless you pay me more because I have no loyalty anymore to the team that loved me when I was on a slump and didn't egg my house. Are we allowed to egg houses again, or is that too expensive? I'd like to egg Fauci's house. There's a whole list of things I'd like to egg. I look like a big rocking horse. Pegasus is flying, man. Gotta pay honor to Pegasus. Wouldn't it be cool to see some Pegasuses flying about? But all we have to do is remember things, I think. Hey, Sonic. It's Sonic's head got cloud right here. Sonic. Here's the hair. Bomb, 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 bomb. Triple bomb formation. The veg cloud with bomb, 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 bomb on the top. You see the little dots? Come on, go on worldview with me. Have a peek. You can do this. It's called NASA Worldview. If you're that curious, just use the word NASA Worldview. You'll come up with it. It's not such a secret. Anybody can find this site. See the square on the edge? See the bombs filling out the gap that was blown out by the microwaves. The microwave would have blown out the low decks. Bomb would have been on a high deck. And ladies and gentlemen, you get a convective system. You have created dynamic flows. You have created updrafts, downdrafts. You have created weather. You have geoengineered. And then once you have a cloud, you can seed it. But you cannot seed a cloud that is not there. It's not like planting it and grow it in a field. Now, this is geoengineering creates the cloud that cloud seeding can modify. And most of those cloud seeding device planes you see, they're not up at a high enough altitude to do this with no pilot in it. Now with a combustion engine like that, there's not enough oxygen for it. Boom. You know, everything emanating from one point. Big square rippler there in it. The rippler. Boom, 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 boom. You learn a facts, man. Facts, man. It's like a race horses. You got one on this side and one on that side. It's like the microwave's coming in at an angle. Or going out at an angle. The way it's going. Conicity would demand that, wouldn't it? Two different layers of the atmosphere. Catching the blast. Very, very particularly, if we can measure between that one down there and the height of that one down there, we'll know the length of the peak and the trough. That's science for you. You'll know the wavelength. Then you could play the opposite wavelength into it and cancel it. Huh? Yeah, reciprocating waveforms cancel each other out. It's just mathematics. It's just science. That can't be refuted. Chem bam 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 bam, chem bomb line of chem bomb 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 bomb. They love you, so you're screwed. It's right. The government loves you so much it screws you every day. Boom, 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 boom goes the plumes over this beautiful island. It did no harm. In Tasmania, breathing the air from the maniacs. A Wile E. Coyote is out there. He's wound up. Yosemite Sam is making you all dance. I said dance. Since too many motherfuckers dance, you put that mask on your face, you get people defending the neighborhood because they just want to be in control of shit. I have a feeling that the toting of ass whoopings will change the fate of of some people's ideals. I'm gonna leave that holding. Asking your neighbor, you got reason to be coming through the neighborhood. Show me proof that you going to work. You only proof? I'd be going to work on their face doing that shit to me. Yeah, it's time to start going to jail for our ideals. If you worry about going to jail, you don't need to be an activist. No, really, you ain't ready to do that. Then just stop. Let other people that are willing to do the physical, that are willing to take it, that won't tuck tail and run from the country because they might get locked up when they're considered an activist leader, who has a maximum gain or for staying in line. I'd rather be in jail giving low forecasts and sticking to my principle than tuck tail and run from England or anywhere because I might get arrested. Fuck that shit. Nah, I know every time I cross the border I could get detained. They still do it. You got an emanation point. Streamer, 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 streamer. Right from this dot, right in the center. It's a chem bomb deployment over Australia. That looks mighty geometric. And you zoom in, you got not much detail. But yet they can zoom in on other areas of the world from the same satellite images and get crystal clear. Well, it means they set the sensitivity levels of what we're allowed to say. They say, yeah, we want these bombs over here, we want that type bomb over there, and turn the fryer on because all our chemicals are ready to be cooked up into cloud condensates. We're going to vibrate those things, get them here, let's strip some ions off, man. Ionized skies. Ionize. Boom! These people talk about ionize. This is the wrong ionize. This is ionized skies. Right before your eyes. You see those lines? It's where they edited out the feed. They made it blurry. They took away a level of viewing so that you can see crystal clear your own poisoning. That looks like a giant sand flea. This one here looks like a giant crab claw. When you zoom in on that particular one, it looks like a giant squid, actually. Hey, this is a very interesting area. They blurred it out on Google Earth so you can't see these fossils. Some of these are under the main, looks like runway type thing that people think is over at, oh fuck, what's the name of that place? Nazca, where the lines are. You'll actually see some of these underneath that main thing. There's only 4 places in the world I've ever seen these fossils. And this is one of them. And all these floods were out here are erasing that history for sure. As it don't look the same. So I'm glad to see that. I got a lot of dust being whipped up. I can see by the clarity of that image. Let's see what it was yesterday. You see how clear that is there? See how foggy? Look at it. That's dust. So I'm expecting to see various color dust fallouts on your cars. You got white dust and you got red dust. This looks like white dust. Mostly these sand pit out here. These are sand pits as well. And free particulates. Here's leaning guy taking a pee. And so I always see a guy leaning back taking a pee when I see this. Like from one of those like Horton here, like from Whoville. One of the Who's. You see that? Maybe he's cutting it off now. Because the state told him to do so. The state says you're a man if you don't have a penis, or you're a woman if you have one. I am not getting this loose, confused, stupid world where a square cloud is acceptable and considered normal. It's not normal. It's man-made weather. You're paying for your own poisoning like a bunch of jackass. Don't ever tell me we're guinea pigs. Now, guinea pigs don't pay for their poisoning. Jackasses do. They get sold an easy sales pitch for a bunch of fucking sealing wax. Well, we got envelopes that stick with the stickers now. Yeah. What a fucking shame. Look at these microwaves out here. Man-made weather right before your eyes, continually fueling these storms, holding them in place. As I come in over Christchurch. That's Christchurch. I go south of there toward the Fiordlands. Chembomb here. Look at that. Look at the dots. Look at this crazy pattern. Somebody was showing me a crazy pattern being flown out to sea. There's evidence that that was releasing pollution in the sky. Yeah, I could say that with accuracy. Boy, they're making a nasty looking cloud that color. And we always have stuff that goes left and right, you know. This is geoengineering, people, right before your eyes. The star formation. right before your eyes. You can't deny this unless you're just in such a state of denial that you just can't accept that other people might be right about something that you don't know. You're so informed about the world that you know it all. I don't know it all. I learn every day. I look on there, I might see something different. Go, wow, what is that? A day of discovery. Look how beautiful, clear that image is. But yet when they don't want you to see their guilt, what's that in there? It's interesting. It's a very interesting. Where's my coordinates? Go look at that. Let's have a look at that later. What a beautiful land. They keep spraying these asses. This is going to turn as brown as that all the time. Different type things will grow like heathers and stuff, but it won't be what you want. It won't be what the creatures that live on the ground need. There's a ground parrot that lives on the ground, has a nest on the ground. It ain't doing too well since the 1080 went along, and I imagine this geoengineering is not helping it at all. Not helping its habitat when it washes all the trees down and stuff it lives in without warning. Oh, but then you should talk to the log industry about that. What's that freaking... This is not excellent. We should take that E and put it on the end of the word human and become humane beings. Because Homo sapiens, as far as I see, are very parasitic as a whole. And I'm sorry, I did not come here to be a parasite in this life. I came here to be a humane being that's going to be humane. And as this goes over the top of that, the energy from that is actually causing a frontline gap. Boom, going that way, and boom, splitting the tendril off. And all that potential is coming right over the top of you here. You guys are really fucked. This image shows it all. Shows it all. From the Kembime off the coast here with in parentheses. You even got it in parentheses like a mathematical formula because they need to contain it a certain way. And the shock wave of that can go out in a certain direction, a certain way to affect the weather, creating an outflow boundary that things flow that way and that way from this emanation point of the bomb. Catching it yet? What do your eyes see here? I'll leave it there for a minute. What do you see? What do you see here? In parentheses. This is a method. I watch it all over the world, and I watch these in real time too as I go out and to see what they do. I said Kembime deployment. Parentheses around it to give extra shove. That's what that type deployment does every time I see it. Yeah. Look, we get, oh God, we get a face off the, oh jeez, it's a Polynesian guys off your coast. That's that lady you were telling me about. Oh my God, this is really bad. Oh, she didn't bring her sons with her. Fuck. You guys are fucked. This is about the biggest sightings I could get coming from out of the Polynesian islands. Oneness is showing up. May she bless and cleanse these beautiful waters. Bring it back to what they need to be. Cleanse the toxic minds that have been brainwashed by the media into believing that 1 + 1 = 10. 1 + 1 is 2, mathematically. And all of us together is oneness. 7.5 billion together is oneness. Trillions of animals out here have their own oneness, you know. They have their oneness. Who knows what they pray to, but it would be the same oneness that created us all. And what will we do to them? We do to our Creator. And well, when all we talk about is harming and nuclear cratering things and worrying about what the next thing is I should buy or what my status symbol is to add validity to my life, rather than my deeds themselves adding validity. You know, when somebody asks you to describe yourself, it's a difficult thing for me to do because only other people can describe me. Only other people can say if I'm a good person or a bad person. Only other people can say if I'm helping or not. Well, only I can say what I do every day or how I react. And I feel a duty to inform the world that we're being killed. I could not look out the window and watch a rape go on without interfering with the act of it going on and making it stop. And that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm watching our world being raped. I'm watching it being pillaged, plundered, raped, sacked, and everything being done to it that we would not do to our Creator. And as I look here over beautiful Turkey, I see the parentheses. I see the bomb in the middle again. Forcing weather, forcing outflow, Cyprus, bombed all to hell. See the triple shed? You can't miss this. The streamers going over Israel, they get bombed too. They're after everybody. They don't care about your religion. All they care about is that you're breathing some air and stuff, or you're not going to give them what they ask for. Even the desert's supposed to be one of the driest places in the world. It's far too cloudy, and they've got a lot of geoengineering programs out here that are very well spoken about. And when they create a flood out there, it's deadly. It's very flat, and it runs for vast distances, and it erodes things very horribly. Let's see, have a look out here at the Bay of Bengal, because they get some action coming. And again, big fried job. They're cooking your samosas, man. They don't want you to breathe. So many ways. Keep the penis and the vagina away from each other, depopulated. Make it so your testicles don't work, depopulated. Yeah, make it so you're scared to have sex, depopulated. All I see is a shitstorm. I see lack of love, lack of consistency. I see too much complacency, and I see a big square cloud next to Myanmar, which is scheduled to have some absolute terrible totals. They get terrible totals coming here. Have they been warned? Have they been told? Big square clouds off your coast leading to totals like this. You look familiar, New Zealand? You seeing anything similar? Oh, we're a little crooked. I must have bumped it. Boom, boom, boom. Vietnam. Did we bomb them in that during the war? We leave them fucking alone? Terrible totals. They must need some infrastructure. I mean some freedom. I mean some agenda. I mean some... You get my fucking point yet? You get a gay who wasn't even a medical doctor telling you to put his product in your body. Snake oil salesman. How's it on stains? How you feeling now, clot shot drappers? Talk to one of your local healers. It's not a doctor. I have a feeling maybe we could help you a bit. Let's unclump your blood so you can breathe internally again. We had it. Wait till you guys hear what's going on. You will. You'll hear it. I'm seeing it. It's not just weather they're coming for. I know some of y'all don't like my rabbit hole quirky side, but you know, if I don't tell you the truth about everything, I'm a lying sack of shit. Just like all these other people I see out there, that lying sack of shit. You get people out there telling you that stuff in the chem is healthy. I say, bullshit you lying sack of shit. Who the fuck paid you to say that? What kind of lies do you believe in that'll make you believe this is healthy? You're out of your mind. Pick up the pH samples. Is acid that healthy? That is not healthy. It's not doing nothing that ain't help. That is helping you. Quit lying. You fucking Q-tards. Wake up. You're being owned, you're being killed, just the same from that pro-vax fucker you love. And you don't like it, fuck off my wall with your lies, your complacency. You're being killed. You didn't even know about this, some of y'all, until a fucking year ago. They've been fighting this around the world for 10 fucking plus years. I gave them everything I goddamn owned, because they're taking everything we own from everybody. They already took all my shit. I'm tired of them taking our lives. I'm tired of them stealing our oxygen. I'm tired of watching fish wash up on shore. After these big fucking deployments, after these big blasty beams, after a whole bunch of psyop goes out to make you feel comfortable to go on outside, breathe that shit on up, breathe it on up. Fuck you, Bozy. This shit is not healthy. You're a fucking liar. You created microwave weapons that fried the children in front of Canberra State House. Go fuck yourself, you sack of shit. Woo! And it's the truth. If you don't like it, fuck off my wall. I don't charge you a dime to have these forecasts. That went for somebody else. Woo! And that's not all I'll ever have to say about liars that tell you chemtrails are healthy. From Seymour to Hamilton over here, look at the bombs on your low deck. Look at this shit out to sea. See it? Well, maybe you'll never see it. Maybe you'll go through life all blind. But God damn it if you're going to drag me off the fucking cliff with you. Big love. Peace.